Hi, welcome back to the Spirit's Path. This is Dee, and today's tarot card of the day out of the Wildwood Tarot deck is the Life Lessons card of the Wanderer. And we started this journey back in August. We've gone 61 days before this card or the World Tree showed up. So, 61 days ago, we crossed over into another part of the Wildwood Forest. And you've gotten back to that point to where you're crossing over again, all right? And when you do so, you're going to leave a lot of stuff behind. I was looking down at my notes, and the journey that you've had has primarily been an intellectual journey, all right? When I look at the last 61 days, 16 days of those were with the arrow cards. All right. Anywhere from the Ace of Arrows, up to the King of Arrows. So, you've had an intellectual journey here in the 61 days. And through that journey, you've grown. Okay. And as you prepare to step across that abyss, you can leave all those, you can't leave the experiences behind, but you can, leave the stress and anxiety of what the air sign kind of represents, right? The overthinking piece of it. And you can start anew when you get to the other side. Right now, all those burdens of the air energy have been set aside. Now, close second was the Major Arcana cards, okay? They were guiding you on your path, okay? So even though, 30 days, 16 of those with thinking, and 14 days of companionship, of learning those life lessons, going through the Wildwood Forest. All right. And in the 61 days that we have been on this journey, we've done a lot of thinking, we've done a lot of soul searching, we've done a lot of talking with the guardians of the Wildwood Forest. All right. And that's given us the wisdom and the knowledge to continue on with our journey. All right, to start a new path, to look at new opportunities in the way things pop up. There was a lot of fire energy as well, because we had 13 cards come up with that passion. All right, the bows energy, and you can't have fire if you don't have air, right? So it doesn't surprise me that the arrows and the bows flowed hand in hand. So your journey is one that's been thinking about things, being creative, all right, having that passion as you're moving forward, and having the life lessons cards, come across to you, okay? The universe always has a plan. We don't know what that is, all right? But if you open yourself up to spirit and you open up yourself to the universe, the people that come into your lives, all right, help you on your spiritual journey. They also look for you to help them on their spiritual journey. I talk about my communication teacher all the time. There are always messages to be passed between individuals, all right? Whether that's, messages of learning or, messages of teaching. Some of that could be, a younger person teaching you something how to do in your work. And in response, you could be teaching them something about life because you're older than them. You have that knowledge and experience on your spiritual path. Some are lost, some know the way, all right? Some are in between. And it's, as spiritual warriors, we're out there to help bring people back to themselves, to their higher self, instead of, being lost in the mundane, chaotic world that we're in, okay? And every chance we get to take a step of faith to cross this abyss into another part of the Wildwood Forest is another step of learning, is another step of teaching, is another step of gaining knowledge and wisdom. Because your journey is always about progressing forward. We can look back at all the analysis of what's happened, all right? But that there may not have been a lot of emotional fortitude. There may not be a lot of security and stability like we've had in the past. But you've looked within, okay? You've desired and have that passion to continue moving forward. All right, no matter what's happening in the course of your life. Okay, and when you do that, when you combine the air and the bow energy, and you have that passion as you're moving forward, the universe responds to that. Okay, the universe says you're ready. Start the momentum. Take that step of faith across that rainbow bridge. All right, and begin that new journey. That new journey of air energy, that new journey of fire energy, water energy, right? Learning the life lessons, becoming more stable, more grounded, okay? Because when you step across off of that stone, consciously you're like, there's nothing underneath me. But if you don't focus on that, if you just focus on, what is ahead of you, and you let spirit guide you, you let the universe guide you, then you can take that courage to take that first step and realize, I've got this. I can help out. I'm going to continue to grow on my spiritual journey. I'm going to continue, to move forward in a way that elevates my higher self, right? So, as I started out, this is both a beginning and an ending, and it's similar to the world tree. But, we have to let that past disappear, all right? Those conversations in a relationship where they didn't go well, let them go, right? And it's hard to let go of things, right? Because there's some emotional attachment to it. But at the same time, it's got to be to a point where you're just looking at it going, you know what? This is holding me back. I need to let this go so I can grow. I've learned my lesson. I'm able to move forward. And as you do so, a new relationship may jump in, or you may strengthen that relationship with your significant other, right? So, letting the past disappear, with those failed projects, letting the past disappear with those, wavering thoughts. When you do that, when you let everything go and you take that leap of faith and you start anew on a new journey, you've got an open canvas. An open canvas for emotions, an open canvas for creativity, an open canvas for thinking, an open canvas to start new opportunities of stability and security. All right? And that helps you on your spiritual journey as you're moving forward, right? This is a turning point, whether consciously or unconsciously, all right, of things to come. And it's all about new opportunities. It's all about raising your elevation in your spiritual self. Okay, it's time to move. It's time to move forward. It's time to take that leap of faith, right? And find out what's on that other side. See who's there to greet you in the Major Arcana cards or the court cards, right? And start that journey anew. And as we get into the holiday season, we start thinking about others. We start thinking about quality time with family. We start thinking about, the closing of a year. How are we going to do that, right? And it all steps with the first steps on this new journey. So that, it can carry you to new possibilities. It can carry you to new challenges, new challenges. But new opportunities are on the horizon, okay? So open your arms, take that step of faith, and walk on over to the other side. That's today's card of the day out of the Wildwood Tarot deck, the Wanderer. Hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel, share it with others, give me a thumbs up. And this is D for Spirit's Path. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care, God bless, and stay safe, everybody.